From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon as we crash into the early part of the evening. As $1,400 third stimulus checks continue to land in bank accounts today, but tomorrow is the big day. The effective date of delivery of March 24th for your $1,400 third stimulus check. The latest update about the direct deposit of your third stimulus check crashing into your bank account tomorrow, March 24th, and the day after that, March 25th. Meantime, if you don't get it the 24th or the 25th, then what? Is it coming by paper check? I'll have all those details as well. Elsewhere, big news as America looks back on 1 year since this pandemic hit Wall Street. What stocks and what industries have resurged and which have not? I'll have all the latest details. Big news as the Federal Reserve Chairman answers questions about your stimulus. I'll have his answers as well. The financial industry is being impacted by the resurgence of reopening new movie theaters. Of all those details, gambling is surging as people are taking their stimulus checks and seeing the biggest surge they've seen in a while. Maxine Waters has new video out talking about your third stimulus. I'll have all those details. The president addresses the American people about the violence that happened today. And the president's about to go live with new comments as well about your stimulus. I also have his comments about fourth stimulus. We'll be carrying the live feed and the live video from the White House minutes from now. So join me on a super-sized edition of Afternoons LALATE starting right now, this very moment. What a big afternoon. The excitement's unfolding right now as $1,400 third stimulus checks continue to land in bank accounts and mailboxes today. But tomorrow is the big day, March 24th. What do you need to know about tomorrow? I have all those details for you starting right now. How are you? It's Afternoons LA. Having a good day? Hope you are. Thank you for joining me throughout the day. And I have that live feed from the White House. I'll be jumping into that video in just a second. I don't want to miss a second of what's happening. And I will show you as soon as it goes live. So I have it here on the control panel. Don't want to miss a minute of what the president has to say for you. The big developments I'm going to show you in just a second, but make sure you first subscribe to this channel. I don't want you to miss a video. And boy, we got a lot happening tonight. Another video right after this, and then we're going to Evenings LA. Big show on that one. Also, like this video. Let's try do 2,000 likes. And also, if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. This is where we are right now. Your $1,400 third stimulus check. It has a second wave that was sent out last Friday for direct deposit recipients. That effective date of that stimulus check is March 24th, which is tomorrow. IRS confirms that some banks may release the funds before tomorrow, but that is the effective date. What do we know? This is what we know currently. Smaller banks have already started to release some of the funds before tomorrow. Those banks that have released funds today are among them our green dot. I expect Chime and Cash App to also release funds today as well for the March 24th delivery because they did the last time, and so did H&R Block Green Emerald. Who would likely not release funds today, the 23rd, but is absolutely releasing funds tomorrow? That's the big banks. Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank America, Citicorp, all those big banks are the ones that have either told the viewers this channel they're doing the drop tomorrow, the deposit tomorrow, or they have not told them, and they are also in the same ball that they did the same thing last week. If you bank at a big bank, you would likely see the deposit occur tomorrow, March 24th. The deposit can post anytime throughout the day. Anytime throughout the day. That's March 24th. If you bank at a smaller bank, then the deposit could appear today, the 23rd, the 24th, And all these banks could also post it on the 25th. You're likely not to see a pending status before post. Why? More about that in a second. You're also likely not to get an alert before post because some banks aren't sending out alerts. More about that in a second. Finally, if you do not see the $1,400 third stimulus check post this week, but presumably, according to IRS, tomorrow, then it's coming to you in the mail. Even people who have set up direct deposit, even people expecting it by direct deposit, will be getting it in the mail. How many of you? I'll have all those details as well coming up in a second. And I'm still watching that live feed from the White House. The president's about to go live. I'll cut to it in a second. I also have a video from the president earlier today talking about big issues. But the day started with incredible great news from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. He and Janet Yellen, who's the Treasury Secretary, appeared before the House subcommittee to address issues about stimulus. Jerome Powell's comments were reassuring. His comments were the following: that the economy is not rebounding where you think it is, that inflation will not be a big issue at all, that labor and unemployment numbers are not where they need to be, and don't worry, the Federal Reserve is not changing its path. Great news, meaning stimulus is not going anywhere, and it's not going to go any change across the board until maybe the middle of next year. Let's listen in to his comments.
There continues to be a great deal of speculation that we should be worried about inflationary pressures, particularly after the passage of the most recent $1.9 trillion spending bill, the so-called stimulus or COVID stimulus bill. And then we see recent press reports of an additional $3 trillion of spending contemplated by this administration. Does the Fed share that there are inflationary pressures and concerns with this?
The $3 trillion he's referring to is the fourth stimulus package.
Rate of spending. What's the view now?
Thanks. So let me start by saying that we're strongly committed to our price stability mandate, which is, along with our maximum employment mandate, those are the two mandates that you've essentially given us. So, and that we construe that as inflation that is 2% over time, inflation that averages 2% over time. We do expect that inflation will move up over the course of this year, first because of what we call base effects. The very low readings of March and April of last year drop out of the 12-month calculation, and mechanically it rises, but that goes away quite quickly. Possibly after that, we'll see a situation in which as the economy reopens and vaccination continues, there could be a surge in spending and there could be some bottlenecks in the economy. We see some of that now. We might see some upward pressure on prices. Our best view is that the effect on inflation will be neither particularly large nor persistent. And part of that just is that we've been living in a world of strong disinflationary pressures around the world, really, for a quarter of a century. And we don't think that a one-time surge in spending leading to temporary price increases would disrupt that. However, we have the tools to deal with that. We remain strongly committed to inflation expectations anchored at 2%, and we'll use our tools as appropriate to achieve that.
Great news from the Federal Reserve as no change in policy. Translation, he's continued to provide stimulus to this economy, and that others should as well, because we are not where we need to be. And we won't be that way until next year. More about forced stimulus and what will be happening in forced stimulus in just a second. But here's what you need to know about your $1,400 third stimulus check. Tomorrow's the 24th, and it could post to your account anytime throughout the day. Anytime throughout the day. And this may post without any prior notice, without a prior pending status, without any prior alert on the irs.gov tool. Why? Because one, the funds have been available to the bank since last Friday, so there's no reason to show it as a pending status. Number two, the funds are from the federal government, so they know it's good money. Number three, it's $1,400. It's not $5,000 or more, which is usually a threshold to hold funds for pending status. So if you're watching this video and you see someone in the live chat who says right now, I show it pending for March 24th, and you don't worry, because that's what happened last week on the 17th. I'm going to show you a list right now of banks that have paid stimulus checks to viewers of this channel. This list started very small on the 17th in the morning. By the late part of the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, it grew. So understand, I expect the same thing to be tomorrow with the 24th, and I'll be live with you then as well. We will see who starts to post, and you'll be the eyes and ears for me as well. These are the banks that started to post on the 17th. Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Bank Chime, which actually started to post 24 hours after it became law. PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot. Green Dot's an example. Green Dot, one viewer today, said she got the stimulus check posted today. Another one said they got posted yesterday. These are March 24th checks. People United Bank, US Bank, PNC, Capital One Bank, Lake Michigan Credit Union, USAA also have paid stimulus checks. Union Bank, MetaBank, MX Bluebird, Navy Federal, BB&T, Woodforce, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank America, H&R Block, and also the TurboTax. Now, if you do not see a check post in your bank account tomorrow, the 24th, could it post on the 25th? Yes. But if you bank at a big bank and it doesn't post on the 24th, it's likely to be heading to you in the mail. If you bank at a smaller bank like a Direct Express and it does not post to your bank on the 24th, it's likely to be coming in the mail. IRS's statement yesterday is that if it does not post to your bank on the 24th, it's in the mail. That's their actual statement. Now, viewers of this channel got checks in the mail today. Which checks do they get in the mail today? And who are they with? I'll have all those details as well for you coming up. And I'll also have the live video from the White House when the president goes live as well in a second. But first, let me go over the other breaking developments of news today. First, it's been a year since the pandemic hit. And during that period, we have now seen which industries have surged and rebound from this pandemic and which have not. The industries that have struggled have been healthcare, consumer staples, and utilities, which are still only up 30% since when the pandemic hit. Also making news today is the gambling industry, seeing record numbers for whether it's casinos or it's the horse races. Those record numbers were detailed earlier today by Penn National Gaming CEO Jay Snowden, who said we had one of the biggest weekends this last weekend that we've seen in years. He says it's better than even 2019 levels. Also getting a new push are the movie theaters. Regal Theaters announced today that it'll reopen after 6 months of being closed. Guess what its first film will be? Godzilla vs. Kong, opening on from Warner Brothers. And then Mortal Kombat, which reenacts Pelosi versus Mnuchin. Just kidding. That will play on April 16th. Also making news is really this big push for fourth stimulus. And ironically, what's happening with third stimulus is very beneficial for you overseas. Foreign countries now are seeing the benefit of the third stimulus package to buy U.S. goods. And that is great for U.S. retailers, U.S. manufacturers, and U.S. steel. There will be positive spillover from the U.S. The fact that there's a significant stimulus in the U.S. will boost global GDP, says ECB chief economist Philip Lane in a new report today. Well, very exciting news about your $14 stimulus check and third stimulus check landing in your bank account. But one of the things I want to detail to you is this mailed check and what you need to know about that mailed check. I'll have more about the confusion about whether you're getting mail or not mail and what day you're getting the mail as LA continues in just 60 seconds right after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues later on this recording with a new recording from Elizabeth Warren indicating the push to end the filibuster before the fourth stimulus package lands in the Senate in the next few weeks. I'll have that video for you later in this recording. But how are you? Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. $1,400 third stimulus checks will land in bank accounts today or tomorrow or the day after. But if you don't get the stimulus check, will you be getting in the mail? Yes. What does IRS say? A large number of you expecting by direct deposit won't get it by direct deposit, even if you got the first or second stimulus by direct deposit. Rather, it will be in the mail. Yes, if you're expecting it by direct deposit, a large number of you, according to the IRS, will instead be getting on the mail. When should you think you're getting in the mail? IRS says if you don't get it tomorrow, you should think you're getting the mail. What is my recommendation to you? If you don't see it the day after, you're likely to get in the mail. When would you see it in the mail? Let me answer that question. Viewers who are going to irs.gov and tracking their stimulus check tool and getting an effective date of mail check of the 26th, 27th, and 28th, let me explain what that means. It means that the mail check actually has a date on the check of the 26th, 27th, and 28th. That's what that date means. It does not mean the check is being mailed the 26th. So it means that the check you're going to get in the mail has a date on it of the 26th. So when are you getting it? About a day or two before, because most checks from the federal government usually land a day or two before the effective date of the check. Viewers today got checks today, March 23rd, dated March 26th. Viewers got checks last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and also Monday. And those checks were dated for this week. So if you go to irs.gov and you track the stimulus check and it shows it's in the mail 26, 27, or 20, it shows 26, 27, or 28 for mail, doesn't mean it's being mailed out that day. It means you're going to get it by that date, and it's going to have that date in the corner of that check. Next, if you go to the tool and you cannot track yourself, don't worry. It's because it doesn't like the way you're typing in the address. The tool is very sensitive to abbreviations, apostrophes, and strange differences of addresses based upon the way post offices does address. If you go to an online app, there's some apps that'll show you what the official address is for you. And if you type it in, then you'll know. So how do you know if you're getting a check in the mail or getting it by direct deposit? This is the way you know. First, if you bank at a big bank, a Chase, a Wells Fargo, a Citibank, a Bank America, and you do not see a direct deposit on the 24th or the 25th, it's likely coming in the mail. Second, if you if you go to irs.gov and you track it and it says it's in the mail, it's in the mail. Third, if you go to the end of this week and you bank at a smaller bank, like a credit union or an app or a direct express, and you've yet to receive it, it's in the mail. That is how you know where it's going. Finally, if you get the stimulus check, it goes up to a 4-person household. So you get one check for the household, $1,400 for the husband, $1,400 for the wife, $1,400 for 2 kids. You got 3 kids, you only get one, you only get for 2 kids. The household up to $1,400 for a household up to 4. One check for the full household. Now, there's always these strange situations where one of the household members is missing for the stimulus check. Then watch the other instruments, because that's when you see, oh, maybe it's coming separately. Meantime, Elizabeth Warren is saying that until you fix the filibuster, we may have problems with more bills landing in the Senate. A new video released by Elizabeth Warren says we need to fix the filibuster now. What is the Senate filibuster? In this great video newly released by the senator, she explains what is the filibuster and how we need to fix it.
The filibuster.
The filibuster.
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 Here's what it is, and here's why it stinks. For a vote on a bill to take place, a few things have to happen. 1, a bill is brought to the floor. 2, senators debate the bill. 3, senators in debate. 4, senators vote on the bill. Majority wins. That's the way the founders intended it to go, at least. Here's the hitch. In 1806, Aaron Burr, yes, the one who killed Alexander Hamilton in a duel, Aaron Burr said that the Senate had too many rules and should get rid of some. One rule that got tossed in the trash can, the rule that said any senator could propose a vote that would cut off debate. That means this step could, in theory, go on forever. For years, business generally went on as usual, but then Senator John Calhoun realized he could exploit this rule change to seize more power for southern slaveholding states by filibustering. In 1917, President Wilson, tired of a Senate that was obstructing more than voting, pressured the Senate to pass a rule to make sure that debate wouldn't hold up voting forever and ever. The Senate responded with a rule called Rule 22, also called a cloture vote. It looked like the other rule that Aaron Burr had thrown in the trash can, except for one enormous difference. To end debate, Rule 22 required a supermajority, or 2/3 of the Senate. Now, a small minority in the Senate could force a bill to get through 2 votes, a supermajority vote to end debate, and a simple majority vote to pass the bill. It made no sense. The year after the Senate...
And that is among the things that the Senate has to fix. What's going on with forced stimulus today? A lot of breaking developments. Let me tell you where they are and give you my opinion of the situation, which a lot of you have been asking throughout the day. Forced stimulus package, of course, as you know, has a lot of different names depending on who you talk to. Some people call it the infrastructure bill, some people call it the climate bill, but it's forced stimulus. It may be split into 2 bills, again, that's the latest development in the last 24 hours, but this is where the day started. The White House, whether it's Janet Yellen or Nancy Pelosi or the press secretary, confirmed it will be that the White House wants to pay for forced stimulus by raising your taxes. Today, for the first time, we found out which taxes. The White House wants to pay for the forced stimulus by raising capital gains taxes, raising inheritance taxes, and raising the wealth tax. Yes, this is tax for the middle class as well. Inheritance tax, everyone has inheritance tax. If you inherit something for your grandma or grandfather, there's an inheritance tax. This is not just for wealthy people. Capital gains tax, if you're selling something or buying and selling something, this is you as well. It's not just wealthy people. So what is my opinion situation? Well, my opinion is this is the messiest stimulus package you are ever going to see. Why? Because it's not just Nancy versus Stevie anymore. It's not just 2 people. It's literally 4 groups of Democrats versus Democrats. Let me show what's going on. First, we have House and Senate Democrats who have said, whatever you give us, we won't vote for it unless you give us reoccurring monthly stimulus checks, which presumably, according to them, would likely be $2,000 a month until the end of this year, which is about $12,000 to $16,000. Not a reach because the president wants to spend $3,000 a child for 18 years elsewhere. So that's the first group. And ironically, that's a group you can get it done with. That's the easy group. The next group are a group of Democrats that says, we won't support it unless you get Republicans to support it. Well, guess what? That also rolls into the third group. The third group says we're not going to support it if the bill doesn't pay for itself. Guess what? The bill of building roads and building highways won't come from the federal government's money. It'll come from taxing you. So suddenly you see the second and third group clearly not going to support this bill. So I just see it a real big mess at the moment. That's where we are at the moment. But let me tell you what's happening elsewhere. The president is yet to go live in that feed, but I'll cut in if we do. The president had a message earlier today to address the situation about the violence across the country. And the president did urge emergency legislation. Let's see that comments earlier today.
In this country, once again. I got that done when I was a senator. It passed. It was law for the longest time. And it brought down these mass killings. We should do it again. We can close the loopholes in our background check system, including the Charleston loophole. That's one of the best tools we have right now to prevent gun violence. The Senate should immediately pass, let me say it again, the United States Senate, I hope some are listening, should immediately pass the 2 House-passed bills that close loopholes in the background check system. These are bills that receive votes of both Republicans and Democrats in the House. This is not and should not be a partisan issue. This is an American issue. It will save lives, American lives, and we have to act. We should also ban assault weapons in the process. I'll have much more to say as we learn more, but I wanted to be clear. Those poor folks who died left behind families that leaves a big hole in their hearts. And we can save lives, increasing the background checks so that they're supposed to occur, and eliminating assault weapons and the size of magazines. We don't know all the detail yet on that. But I'll be talking to you more later today or in the next couple of days about what else we know. May God bless you all and those families who are mourning today because of gun violence in Colorado and Georgia, all across the country.
The president has a lot to do as well. And one of the deadlines I need to remind you, and I always remind myself to remind you about it, is the eviction moratorium. Yes, the eviction moratorium deadline is just a few days away. And the president was asked today what his comment was about it. No comment, which I thought was particularly unusual. The CDC, which has the eviction moratorium in place, said they do want to extend it. But when asked for the president of the White House, what are they going to do? Will they extend the eviction moratorium? No comment. I think he's going to do it, but I need you to be alert that that deadline is about to unravel. Also, what's happening, of course, is that standalone bill in the Senate of the wealth tax. There's also that standalone bill in the Senate of the student loan debt forgiveness. That has still not been worked on. And of a lot of other things that still need to be handled. I'll be having also Maxine Waters' comments later in this video about third stimulus, but let me give you the big update where we are on your $1,400 third stimulus check. Your $1,400 third stimulus check was sent out in a massive wave, a second wave of direct deposit last Friday. $1,400 sent out by IRS last Friday. They're the payee. They know when they sent out the money. They got their moolah. They have your moolah. They sent it out last Friday. They sent it out for the direct deposit wave and specifically said, if you don't get it this time, you're getting it by paper check. That's the very, very clear message. So what date would you get it by paper check? Here's what you need to know. If you go to irs.gov and you show a mailed check date of the 26th, you're not getting it the 26th. You're getting it 1 to 2 days before the 26th. If it shows the 27th, you're not getting it the 27th. You're getting the day or two before the 27th. The date for the mailed check that you see in IRS is not the date it's mailed. It's the date of the effective date of the check that's in the mail. Meaning, when you go to the mailbox, it will say on the check March 26. It will not go out the 26th. It'll go out the 19th or the 18th or the 20th, and you will get it 1 to 2 days ahead of time and look at it, and it'll say the 26 on it. That's what happened today. Viewers got the checks today on the 23rd today, marked the 26th. So what happens if you do not receive a direct deposit tomorrow, the 24th, and you don't receive one the 25th? Then would you get it in the mail? Yes, that's what IRS says. What day in the mail? If you are able to track your name on IRS, that's the best indicator of what day you're going to get it. If you're not able to get a result from the IRS tool, check it because it's continually updated and it will be updated accordingly when it's being mailed out. It's a big day with a lot of news across the board, and the day started with Maxine Waters' committee hearing from the Federal Reserve that we need stimulus and we need it right away. Maxine Waters also, ironically, not in this video, but in another video, said that in the state of California, the third stimulus has landed for the rent, and she said the state of California is not doing it the right way at the moment. So you see how enforcement of third stimulus remains a big issue. But I like this video. It's a great video in which Representative Maxine Waters, here from Los Angeles, explains to you what is in the third stimulus package. Let's listen in.
Thank President Biden and all of the Democratic leadership for this wonderful, historic piece of legislation that we're voting on here today. This indeed responds to the needs of the American people during this pandemic. This is why I came to Congress to do this kind of work. And I'm so proud to be a Democratic member of Congress at this time. I want you to know that this bill not only supports education, gives stimulus checks to put food on the table, unemployment assistance, small businesses will be able to reopen and to stay open, and then everybody will have access to the vaccines that will be made available because of this bill. And it has been said more than once that this bill will take children out of poverty. They will be able to depend on regular assistance to them and their families every month. I'm so pleased that as a chair of the Financial Services Committee, I had in my jurisdiction $77 billion to deal with some very critical issues. This bill includes critical funding for emergency rental assistance, providing $22.5 billion to pay the back rent and future rent payments owed by millions of struggling families. And that is in urban communities, rural communities, Black, white, Asian, all folks will have access to this rental assistance. Combined with the funding for emergency rental assistance, I negotiated in the December stimulus package and the $5 billion for 70,000 new housing vouchers that are included in this package. This bill is truly historic and will help people across the nation to remain safely housed. Thank you so very much, and I yield back the balance of my time.
And there you
Thank you
go.
so very much, Mr.
There was a
Speaker and
statement
members.
explaining what is in your third stimulus package. As we go into the new evening, $1,400 third stimulus checks will start posting tomorrow morning. Understand they don't just post at 12:01 a.m. They could post throughout tomorrow. They can post in the middle of the day. They can post in the afternoon of the day. They could post without any prior alert or any prior warning or pending status. They could simply post, and that's how they will post tomorrow. $1,400 third stimulus checks will post in your account tomorrow if that is when it's going to occur. If it doesn't post tomorrow, the 24th, then watch the 25th. But then after that, if it's not in the bank account, it's likely in the mail. The specific clear statement from IRS yesterday is that a wave of stimulus checks, a second wave, was sent out last Friday. The effective date of the stimulus check is March 24th. Some banks may release the funds before the 24th, but the effective date is the 24th, and that if you do not receive a stimulus check on the 24th by direct deposit, it's in the mail. They specifically also said that a large percentage of Americans who are expecting direct deposit should not be surprised they do not get it by direct deposit, the $1,400 third stimulus check, rather that it's coming in the mail from IRS. The envelope that'll come in is a white or beige envelope. The envelope generally has nothing on the outside of any logo. It may say information about your economic impact payment. The envelope's skinny, it's light, it's easily to discard. And sadly, under second stimulus and already under third stimulus, I've had some viewers throw it away, not realizing it has your stimulus check. Meantime, IRS has a lot of things to fix, and that was one of the discussions also before that committee today. IRS still has to provide guidance on how to request a missing third stimulus check when that becomes an issue next week or the week after. How to get that $2,200 of, $10,200 of unemployment tax-free from last year accounted for on the tax return. How to update the IRS if you have a child for purposes of that $5,000 child tax credit or $4,400 tax credit, that $1,700 of financial aid, or that $1,400 of earned income tax credit, or the $1,500 of earned income tax credit, the hazard pay. IRS admits it has a lot of things to give advisories about, and that admission and that advisory will be coming in the next few weeks. Ironically, it has to come before that May 15th date of when your tax returns due. And that topic was brought up today. Treasury said they would not change the date at the moment, but you see how you may not be alone in wondering, wait a second, I got a lot of things to fix. Where do I fix them and how do I fix them? And sadly enough, I was not able to bring you the live feed from the White House. I guess it has still not happened. Still waiting. Sort of waiting like for a stimulus check. But as we go into the new evening, I appreciate all your patronage and I appreciate all your love throughout the day. It has been a full day with a lot of breaking developments and a lot of breaking news. Let me jump into the live chat now with you and answer some of your questions in the video right now. Not a word from FSN Bank, says Kelly. Lisa, on SSI, I got mine on the 17th. Lisa Vaughn, thank you so much. What about disabled veterans? Mike, IRS doesn't recognize it based upon your benefits. They base it upon the bank and also the delivery. Some of the other questions. I got the other two by direct deposit. Will I get this one the same? I'm on SSI, says Chris. Absolutely no way to know if it does not show up on the IRS tracking tool. IRS's official statement, Chris, is that a large amount of you who got the first two by direct deposit will get it in the mail. IRS would not give a percentage as to what is large, but I have seen from the viewers of this channel who have been able to track it that 50% of the viewers of this channel, approximately, who got the first two by direct deposit have now gotten an alert it's coming in the mail. Thank you for your great question. My tool says mailing on the 26th, so it's Lyric L. Great question. So let me interpret what that tool means when it says mail the 26th. It does not mean that it's going in the mail the 26th. It means that it's in the mail with a check written for cashing on the 26th, meaning the date on the check is the 26th and that the check is already in the mail. So, Lyric, you will get the check the 24th, the 24th, 5th, or today. You may get it on the 26th, but I had viewers get the check today, the 23rd, marked the 26th. So to make that clear again, when the IRS tool says 26 mail, it does not mean it's in the mail on the 26th or that it's being mailed out on the 26th. It means that it has already been mailed to you, and the date on the check says March 26th. So watch it may be out of the mailbox right now, Lyric. So thank you for that great question. John Williams says Direct Express took that recording off. Thank goodness, because it was wrong. It was so darn wrong. Francine, IRS tool says no payment available. Yeah, so that is when the IRS doesn't recognize your name. Recognize your address. Recognize your address. So check it again and see if you can get another way to type in your address. But check it as well. Mitch, are you sure that I will get my stimulus tomorrow from Bank of America? Oh, no, I'm not sure at all, Mitch. If you do not get it tomorrow or the day after from Bank of America, it's in the mail. What I am sure is that the big banks are dropping it tomorrow. And that if you do not get it from the big banks tomorrow, you're getting it in the mail. That is what we are sure about. Let me see some more of the comments. I thought the eviction moratorium went to June the 30th. Does this mean we'll be protected? We won't be protected from eviction? It means you will not be protected from eviction. It did not go to June 30th. I think it goes to March 31st. It does not go to June 30th. If you're not now, each state has a different order. So you may have a local state or county or city eviction moratorium, but the federal one ends on March 31st. Let me see some more of the comments. I filed a 2020 tax return and it made me not owe any more and I got a refund. Okay, very good. When should we file our tax returns, LALATE? Chris G. IRS says that if you have issues about that $5,000 child or $4,400 child or $10,200 of unemployment, if these are issues you have at hand, don't file the tax return yet. You have till May 15th. If these are not your concerns, if they don't affect you, then you can do whenever you want to do it. But that's a great question, Chris G. LA, does FPUC expand to September? Yes, September 6th. Great question. Even the tool says no info. Can I still get direct deposit? Yes, Carolyn, because the reason why the tool may say no info is because the tool does not recognize the way you typed in the address. The problem with that tool is it doesn't tell you why it doesn't recognize you. And we've learned why it doesn't recognize you. Not you, it doesn't recognize the address, which is so weird. And it doesn't tell you how to fix it either. How do I fix my address? Well, you got to figure out if it's AV or AV or AV dot or dash, all these sort of strange, peculiar twists. So yes, you could absolutely still get a direct deposit. So there we are. They took off that information from Direct Express. Good. I told you it was wrong. I'm still getting that recording 3 weeks from today. There we go. Let me see some more of the comments. LA, I heard you said yesterday people with a payee aren't getting a stimulus check. What's up with that? No, I did not say that. I said if you have a payee, it may go to your payee, the stimulus check. If you are dependent on someone else's tax return, it would go to the person you appear on their tax return. It would not go to you. That's what I said. Hopefully I was not confusing all that. But thank you for a great comment. I appreciate it as well. And there you are. What a big day. What a big recording. 42 minutes. And the president never went live. Oh, he's live now. There's the president. Let's cut in just for a second and hear what the president has to say. This is a live feed of the president of the United States right now. Let's see what he's talking about.
Affordable health care that they so deserve and many desperately needed. We are now at a point to where patients and families do not need to use the emergency department as primary entry into our healthcare system. The ACA has afforded them access to obtain primary care provider coverage or linkage to an accountable care organization, thus allowing for the provision of increased continuity of care. This, as we all know, leads to better health outcomes for patients and their families. Because patients have had increased opportunity and more affordable options.
What you're watching right here is a live feed from the White House of the president doing the American Rescue Plan live tour. What you see behind him is a step and repeat, and this is a live feed. Thank you for joining me on a big day of Afternoons LA. I'm back with you tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Evenings LA. That will be a big broadcast. Don't miss me on that Evenings LA recording. It's coming up tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because tomorrow's a big day. I don't want to miss you. I don't want you to miss me. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. If you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay about life for more.